Number three, the total amount of carbohydrates in 3.5 bagels is 167.37 grams. How many grams of carbohydrates would one bagel have? So the goal of this problem is that to figure out how many grams of carbs are in one bagel, with the key numbers being 3.5 bagels has 167.37 grams of carbs. So I already created a ratio table right here. So we want to figure out the grams of carbs in one bagel. So how can we get from 3.5 to 1? Well, duh, Mr. Morales. You could just divide by 3.5. And as we know with ratio tables, what you do to one side, you must do to the other. We must do, so the expression we must do in order to figure out the answer for our problem is 167.37 divided by 3.5. But Mr. Morales, that problem is hard for me. I don't really know how many times 3.5 goes into 167.37. Well, like we did with our problem earlier, let's manipulate these numbers to get numbers that we do know how to divide by. So, I know 167.37 is the same as 16,737 times 100. I mean, divided by 100. Because when I move the decimal 2 times over, I'm going to get 167.37 again. And 350 divided by 100 is the same as 3.5. And we're still going to divide these two numbers. But I also know that dividing by 100 is the same as multiplying by 0.01. For example, 100 divided by 100 equals 1, and 100 times 0.01 equals 1. So these expressions are equivalent. So Mr. Morales hasn't changed anything. He changed the expressions, but they're still the same expressions at the end of the day. He just went from dividing by 100 to multiplying by 0.10. So now I know how to actually do 16,737 divided by 350. But we cannot forget about these two terms right here, even though they are the same terms. So we also are going to have to do 0.01 divided by 0.01. But now we could turn our multiplication signs. Now we're going to multiply these two expressions inside our parentheses signs instead. So what is 16,737 divided by 357? So let's head over and set it up. So that's, I know 350 times 10 equals 3,500. I say I could fit in another 3,500. Let's double that. Let's times that by 20. I know that's going to give me 7,000 this time. That's going to be 6,237. Can't fit another 20 groups of 350, so let's fit another 10 groups. So I can't fit another 10 groups of 350, but I do know 350 times 7 is going to give me 2,450, which is going to give me 287. So right now, I cannot fit any more groups of 350. So right now, let's add what we have. How many groups of 350 we have taken away from 16,737. So 10 plus 20 plus 10 plus 7, that is going to be 47. So for right now, we have 47, remainder 287. Or we could write that as 47, 287 over 350, which is an acceptable answer. And Mr. Morales would give you full credit if you was to give him this answer. But what would this equal as a decimal? Well, Mr. Morales, I'm not really sure. I don't really know how to break 350 into decimals. Well, let's try to simplify 287 over 350 to its simplest terms and see if that could help us. So I know that the factors of 287, which are not many, is 1 and 287, and 1 and 7 and 41. And I also know that 350 has a factor of 7 as well. So let's divide top and bottom by 7 and see what that gets us. So 287 divided by 7, that's how we're going to get to 41. And 350 divided by 7, that's actually going to get us to 50. So 41 over 50 is the fraction in its simplest term, but now this could help us. If you don't know what 41 over 50 is as a decimal, we could just convert this to hundredths by multiplying top and bottom by 2 to get 82 over 100. And I know 82 over 100 is the same as 0.82. So our final answer is 47.82